Have you ever just looked up at the night sky and felt, a real connection, like you're part of something absolutely immense? Well, today we're going to dive into a story, a really incredible cosmic tale about that exact feeling. It's a story about where we come from, where we're headed, and the amazing journey in between. Okay, so most of us have probably heard this beautiful idea from Carl Sagan, right? It's this amazing scientific fact that literally connects our bodies to the stars. But the story we're exploring today, it takes this idea and runs with it, turning it from a poetic truth into the entire premise of a grand cosmic game. Let's see how this game is played. So the story kicks off with this really fascinating idea that all of life, and especially our human story, is basically one giant game of hide and seek. But here's the thing, it's not about hiding from someone else. It's about hiding from ourselves. We've completely forgotten who we really are. And the number one rule of this game, it's a big one. According to this story, your fundamental identity isn't just you as a person, it's the entire universe, just having an experience in a human body. So our life's journey isn't really about becoming something new, it's about remembering what we've been all along. And this is where you can really see the central conflict of the game. On one side, you've got our true nature, the one we've forgotten, things like kindness, love, and compassion. And on the other side, well, our current reality, which is often full of war, greed, and the struggle for power. That gap between the two, that's the playing field. So how do you win a game like this? The whole point is to find what the story calls the jewel inside. Now, this isn't some actual gem, of course. It's a metaphor for rediscovering that cosmic connection, that deep kindness that's just lying dormant inside all of us. But how in the world do you find it when you've forgotten you even lost it? Okay, so if we've forgotten who we are, how do we find our way back? Well, the good news is, even though we're lost in this game, we are definitely not alone. The universe has left clues, signposts all around us, basically pointing the way home. And these guides, they show up in all sorts of forms. You've got the incredible wisdom you can feel just by being in nature. You've got ancient knowledge from cultures like the Mayans, or even the mythical Lemurians, who all talked about coming from the stars. The story even mentions cosmic coaches from star systems like the Pleiades. But you know what the most important guide of all is? It's the great coach that's already living inside each and every one of us. And this reinforces a really key idea here. We are part of this cosmic ecosystem of support. This isn't just humanity's journey all on its own. It's a universal process where beings who are further along on their path actually help emerging worlds, like ours, find their way from darkness, which just means ignorance of our true nature, into the light. But before we can really start seeing these signposts clearly, there's a little internal work to do. The story uses this great metaphor of gardening. We first have to clear out all the negative weeds, the anger, the jealousy, the fear, from our own inner world. It's only then that we create the space for our true nature to actually grow. Now, beyond all those external signposts, there is an even more personal, more direct form of guidance. This narrative calls it the Wizard's Handbook, which is basically an internal instruction manual for our entire journey. So you gotta be wondering, right? What kind of cosmic secrets does a book like that hold? What incredible truths are written on its pages? And here's the twist. When you first open the book, there's nothing there. The pages are completely blank. It's a puzzle. You're left wondering, is this some kind of joke, or is there something deeper going on? And here's the answer to that puzzle. You don't access the wisdom in this handbook with your brain or your ego. The words only appear for a heart that is kind, innocent, and totally open. Basically, the state of your heart is the key that unlocks the text. Because ultimately, the handbook is a mirror. It's the book of life, your life. It holds the entire story of your soul's journey, and you can't trick it or force it to reveal anything. It just shows you what's there as you reveal your own true self. In the end, the book is you. Okay, so we've talked about the game, the guides, and this inner handbook. Now, I want you to hang on, because we're about to take a huge leap forward in time to see where this whole journey leads. What actually happens when humanity finally wins the game? Picture this. 1,000,000 years from now, humanity is completely transformed. All those external problems, like war and poverty, they're gone, because the internal problems, all those negative weeds, have been cleared out. People are living for thousands of years. And that old fight between science and spirituality, it's over. They've merged into one single truth. Humanity has finally, collectively remembered where it came from. And the evolution isn't just societal, it's physical. According to this story, humanity actually transitions from being these dense physical bodies into beings of pure energy. We become multidimensional, capable of zipping across the entire universe in less than a second. Wild, right? This timeline really puts it all into perspective. We are right here, right now, at what's called the turning point. 1,000,000 years from now, that's the Great Awakening. And after that, well, the journey gets a new purpose. And awakened humanity starts to seed a new world, helping another civilization begin its own game of cosmic hide and seek. And that brings us to the final and I think most beautiful part of this cosmic story. See, the end of one journey is really just the beginning of the next one. After we win the game, we don't just kick back and relax. We get to become the coaches for the next game. And this is what's called the Great Cosmic Cycle. A young world gets some guidance. It takes that long 1,000,000-year walk to wake up. Once it becomes one with the universe, it gets an invitation to become a guide for another new world, planting the seeds of life and consciousness and starting the whole beautiful cycle all over again. So the game never actually ends. It's this infinite creative process. And our ultimate purpose, according to this story, isn't just to find ourselves, but to then turn around and help others do the exact same thing. We get to participate in the universe's endless dance of creation. Now, after hearing a story that spans millions of years and the entire cosmos, it's pretty easy to feel kind of small, right? But this narrative brings it all back to a really personal and super important point. You are not just watching this cosmic drama unfold. You are a critical piece of the puzzle. And that leaves us with one last powerful question to think about. In this enormous game of humanity, remembering that we are made of stardust, your piece of the puzzle, your kindness, your awareness, your own journey, is absolutely essential. So the question is, what will your piece look like?